You are now listening to MrZBlackneffect.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Okay, shout out to Chrissy. I gotta get to a review of something she put out a few days ago. Who else sent me something? I think Compassionate sent me something. I already downloaded. We'll get to it. Let's shoot for either tomorrow, maybe Monday. For that. So there's a couple of things that we have on the docket to review, right? So it's on my desk. It's on my desk. Yeah. And shout out to Trell Bentley, and Trell says it ain't Z without ZPT, right? And shout out to BGS for coining that, or at least popularizing it. Okay, so we have like some random videos that I've seen on these interwebs over the past month or so, maybe less than that actually, that I wanted to cover. Some of you have seen these videos on other people's channels and they've given their commentary, some of which I've heard, some of which I haven't, but I wanted to give my own spin on things, right? So let's actually start off with Smiko.
Where are you from?
I'm from China.
Would you rather raise kids here or raise kids in China?
I don't want to raise kids.
You don't want kids? Why?
Too expensive.
Get a rich husband.
I want freedom, so I don't want a husband too.
You don't want a husband? What do you want to do?
Just being single, enjoy myself, and be with my cat. I have a cat.
You want to be with your cat for the rest of your life?
Maybe I will keep a dog too.
Ah, yes, y'all. Even the Chinese women, we knew this already. Y'all don't want to go in those comments. Oh boy. It's a bunch of women celebrating this. It's a bunch of women. See how men look at the look on his face. We're so liberated. It's a bunch of those type of comments. But of course, the female empowerment comments, the thing that all of those women ignore is what was the first words out of the young lady's mouth. What did she say first?
Where are you from?
I'm from China.
Would you rather raise kids here or raise kids in China?
I don't want to raise kids.
You don't want kids? Why?
Too expensive.
Get a
I don't want to raise kids. Too expensive. I don't want to raise kids. Too expensive. First words. Now they celebrate. Oh, she don't want to have kids, and she don't want to have a husband, and she likes her cats and her dogs, and in the comments, it's a bunch of those type of comments. These weirdos. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Single women keeping women single. But the young lady told you what it is first. The competitiveness in China. She doesn't want to raise children because they're expensive. She wants her kids to go to the better schools, to be part of the elite. And if, in her mind, if that's not possible, either she got priced out, right? It's too difficult. So she'll resign herself to this. We see this in America. But people hear what they want to hear. Especially for the women. The women look at all of this big gender war in their mind. It's all points. They're only counting the points in their mind. In their mind, they're only counting one more point for us. We got to snub them in. One more point for us. We got to mock them in. One more point for us. We got to make fun of them in. That's all it is for them. Decay of society? Shrugs. They don't care. Their own well-being in the long run? Shrugs. They don't care. They just want to mock and make fun of the men. The ladies only want to mock and make fun of the men. They want to look. It's funny because we speak about power and power dynamics and money and status and all of these things, and no one speaks about the angst from women for not being mothers, not having children, and then how do they cope with that? Huh? Like we've started to hear more and more of young folks, particularly young women, but young folks spending money on luxury goods increasingly, right? Because in their mind, they got priced out of homes, right? They got priced out of a certain lifestyle, so they just gonna buy the markers of the lifestyle. Okay, right? This is how they cope. The expensive bags, expensive shoes, the vacations, the expensive vacations and trips. Okay, Mr. Z disagrees with this form of coping, but okay, I get it. But no one wants to speak about the part of women saying, all right, I won't have the kids either. Too expensive. We actually pretend, at least, that we believe them with the coping rhetoric. Huh? Exactly, Vince. Everything's fine with a tear in their eye. Exactly. Exactly. Perfect. What was the meme? It was a meme with a lady, a white lady saying, then you gotta pretend like everything's fine, but you're not really fine. And then, right? Exactly. Women. And they get all fun. I'm enjoying my single life and I'm in peace. But really, they're miserable. Absolutely, positively miserable. And the only great feeling they get is snubbing your everyday man. Huh? They got some of the ladies, they have the job. They have the car. They might have the condo or the luxury apartment. For a few of them, they do. They do. They've gone on the vacations. They go on their girls' trips. And they're absolutely miserable. And the only thing that they have that feels empowering is snubbing the men, mocking the men, making fun of the men, speaking about how useless the men are. Huh? This is their one form of empowerment, of freedom. And that's what, when they speak into their girlfriends and their homegirls, and this is how they speak.
Now that women don't have to get married for financial stability, they're marrying men for who they are, and the result is a male loneliness epidemic. That, I believe it. Nobody's ever asked men to evolve. They have.
It's such a forced laugh. Look at her laugh. And she's encouraging the other young lady to laugh. This is only one part of 3, right? But this is the part that I decided to take out because it's so emblematic of single women keeping women single and what they demand the other women find as empowering. Huh? This is, once again, this gender war for them is everything because they don't have much, especially, okay, you don't have children. You've never been married. You're in and out of relationship, situationship, friends with benefits, piping coworkers, huh? Piping randos, the guy at the gym, huh? Or, because some of them are actually engaging in this, not doing anything with anyone. It's just you, your rose toy, and your 2 cats. Huh? And like your feeling of fulfillment and of empowerment, especially empowerment, is speaking about how much better you're doing than the men. And how we no longer need them financially. look, single male epidemic, lonely male epidemic. And like, this is what's empowering to them. And once again, to any technocrat listening, man, woman, straight, gay, here's a real question. Who told the women that they were the ones with the personality? Who told the women that they were the likable ones? To the technocrats, you did this, whether knowingly or unknowingly, knowingly. To the ad execs and the screenwriters, huh? The journalists and the columnists, the pundits, the talking heads, You did this. Now the world's daughters, America's daughters in specific, actually think they're far more likable than they actually are. Huh? The women think that they're indispensable in this society. The men, on the other hand, these women are rewriting history. They have convinced themselves that men have been total and complete monsters. And all women are trying to do is just civilize yourself and be likable and develop personality. To the technocrats, to anyone. Who told the women they were the ones with the personalities? Who told them they were so charismatic? Who told them they were so funny? Who told them they were so interesting? So we have a bunch of charismatic, interesting, personable women, likable women, cool, intriguing women, and a bunch of loser men outside of maybe a handful of kiss women ass, placate them ass men. This is the narrative. Interesting women, huh? Contributing members of society, cool as hell, kick ass, great in their career, great children, adult children, right? And the men and the boys, on the other hand, are these little loser in their mom's basement, scratching and sniffing, huh? Haven't taken a shower in a week and a half, ass boys and men. Yeah, that's it. That's the narrative. Continuing.
Now that women don't have to get married for financial stability, they're marrying men for who they are, and the result is a male loneliness epidemic.
That, I believe it.
Nobody's ever asked men to evolve. They have had their position since the beginning of time. They're the breadwinners, they're the power, they're the decision maker. Women are the ones who have evolved beyond that, and they have become breadwinners, and they have become the matriarchs, and
she said matriarchs. First, men still earn more than women. Like, remember everyone, this is not a black woman saying this. Men still earn more than women, including in the black community. Men still earn more than women. Men still have more wealth than women. Men are the ones who maintain the physical infrastructure of this society. You couldn't even get to work if it wasn't for men. You couldn't even turn on your car if it was. You couldn't even walk out the door. What door if it wasn't for men? Your building, your house, your apartment, your condo wouldn't even have AC. Your car wouldn't have AC. Wait, you wouldn't even have a car if it wasn't for men. If we Thanos snap men off of planet Earth today, women wouldn't be able to survive a month. Z, you're being super generous with a month. I know. Huh? Men would find out a way to reproduce themselves before the last young man disappears from this planet. Give or take 80 years. We would have 80 to 100 years to develop the technology to create human beings. Ladies, could y'all pull it? Could y'all maintain the physical infrastructure enough for the scientists to do their job and create human beings? Huh? This is what is seen as empowering language. It's coping talk. Huh? It's coping talk. She's not saying too much different than this young lady.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Are you single?
Yes,
Why are you single right now?
because the men are not enough rich to take care of me.
So you're looking for a rich man.
Yes, I want to be spoiled.
Why does he have to be rich?
Because I want to be spoiled. Because I make my own money and I need to be dominated.
Once again, Z, you've been playing that clip a whole lot this year, and I'm going to play it a whole lot for the rest of the year. We're going to spam the hell out of that because she said it. Most women are too cowardly to say this exact same way. This is the issue to all the technocrats. Miss us with the no, now that the women can afford their own life, they need a partner. They're looking for a partner. Huh? That'll help them with their domestic labor and be emotionally intelligent and be attentive and be likable and have personality. No, that is not the issue. Miss us with the feminist talk. Huh? Thank you. And Vince says there's some punks. I don't know why we don't call women cowards and punks and scaredy cats and whatever. Because when it comes to just one thing you got to appreciate about these loud ass black women on the internet and social media, they actually saying it. For some of them, the swirlers are actually saying it. The divestors are actually saying it, especially the divestors. Huh? I want to be with a white dude because of the status and the money. I don't want to deal with these little Negroes no more. The white men are where the status and the money is. That's where I'm going. Huh? Black men are too big of losers for me. You gotta appreciate it. You gotta love it. But outside of like a very niche form of in your face male antagonism, oftentimes directed towards black men, in the form of this weirdo antagonistic feminism, or in our case, divester swirler talk, what you get are these women who speak like women are so interesting and have so much money and so much status in this society, and they could forego being in a relationship with men. And the men are losers anyway. And all we ask men to do is step up. Now that we don't need you financially, women still need men financially. But now that we don't need you financially, men, look, now we got a little male loneliness epidemic. Well, will you look at that?
Now that women don't have to get married for financial stability, they're marrying men for who they are, and the result is a male loneliness epidemic.
That, I believe it.
Nobody's ever asked men to evolve. They have had their position since the beginning of time. They're the breadwinners, they're the power, they're the decision maker. Women are the ones who have evolved beyond that, and they have become breadwinners, and they have become the matriarchs, and we have changed as a people.
Right.
And now it's their turn.
Yeah. Men can go on and fulfill their potential and do other things.
This push by the media to accept a man, whether or not he meets your expectations or your own goals in life, just for the sake of getting married or falling in love, is propaganda. Maybe now girls are sort of coming into their own and realizing that more so than previous generations, because now there are more women in colleges than men. Women are in the workplace. Women are very successful. You no longer need a man for financial stability. You're completely self-sufficient. The propaganda machine wants to undo that so that men can feel better about themselves. The male loneliness epidemic.
Yawn. Huh? So women are doing kick ass. Where? Huh? Y'all don't understand what machine learning is about to do to a whole lot of y'all office jobs? Do y'all even know what machine learning is and what it's doing? Sounds good. All right, ladies. If this is what empowering looks like, women have been evolving. Evolving? You call what women are doing now being evolved? Huh? Being the do girls for elite rich white men? You think that's evolved? Z, you are talking about women and elite rich white men. True. Huh? They do want to get their 50 Shades of Grey on. True. So being evolved is being the do girl for elite rich white men. Huh? Going in and out of attempting to be an entrepreneur, failing at it, going back to having a 9 to 5, pulling it one more time, failing at it, going back to having a 9 to 5, which, by the way, men do too. Welcome to the world, ladies. This is what being evolved looks like. What being evolved looks like is being miserable, pretending like you're happy and content. Women don't even know what the word content means. Pretending like you're being happy and content, and then encouraging other women to be single like you. Mocking and making fun of the men for being single. Calling relationship rom-coms and movies and television shows about relationship and intimacy propaganda created by men for women. Because what this does is encourage women to want to do something natural. You know, be in a relationship with men. Oh, no, it's propaganda, everyone. Because if women had it, they would all be munching on each other and being LGBTQ. Remember, this is the same sex that likes to call men sassy. This is the same sex that likes to call straight men sassy. But every time they talk now, what you're hearing from women is some borderline LGBTQ stuff. Huh? Because the masses of women are perfectly okay with being munched on by another woman or just buzzing themselves to death with their rose toy. Huh? The love of their life, a toy. Just saying. Huh? They're happy playing with their cat, Damn, Z. Huh? And let me read this from Buckeye Fan now. Let's pause right there and let's read this from Buckeye Fan. And thank you for the super chat, Buckeye Fan. I'm gonna read your comment in a minute, KMS. And Buckeye Fan says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Did you get the email of Ryan Grimm versus Hot for Zoran Girl? Brianna Joy Gray mentioned on Bad Faith podcast concerning high school boys. So I watched Brianna Joy Gray's. Did I cover that? No, did I cover that already? I want to say yes. I watched Brianna Joy Gray with FD Signifier and the white dude from Parkland, the Parkland shooting. Yeah, I watched that, and I did watch the interview with the conversation with Ryan Grimm and the young lady. And once again, and shout out to you, Buckeye Fan. Once again, the framing, right? How was the young lady speaking on Brianna Joy Gray's? And maybe I have to go back and review it because I didn't review that. I did watch it, but I didn't review it. How was the young lady speaking when she was speaking to Brianna Joy Gray and to Ryan Grimm? It's always this. Women are always going to play victim of boys and men. And that's how she was speaking when she was speaking to Brianna Joy Gray and to Ryan Grimm. These boys in high school are complete and total menaces and monsters. They're immature. They're the women are the girls in high school, the young women in college, the young women out of college are just kicking ass, and they're enjoying their life, and they're complete and total sugar and spice and everything nice. And these men and these boys, these young men are just complete and total menaces. Huh? That's the narrative. And that's what that young lady was trafficking in when she was speaking to Brianna Joy Gray and Ryan Grimm. Huh? It's fascinating listening to this type of stuff. This talk. Meanwhile, right? Study shows that sisters are meaner siblings than brothers. Duh. By the way, in the comments for this, women and men are saying, who needed a study for this? Who didn't know this? Women and men are speaking like that. Mainly black, but even a few non-black folks are in the comments. Who needed a study for this? Wait, so the girls are just meaner than the boys when siblings? Oh no, the girls aren't meaner than the boys in school either. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. Huh? All in the comments. Once again, women and men are saying who needed a study for this? Who didn't know this? Huh? This system in society is using the women as a buffer. The elites are not afraid of the women. The elites are using the women as a buffer. The women are in the way of revolution. Huh? Y'all are in the way. You're not gonna bust a group in a fruit fight. The second one of y'all gets shot, one of y'all get manhandled by one of these white dudes, police officers, y'all gonna go scattering and running. None of y'all ain't trying to get in no fight. Y'all are in the way. The elites already know what to do. Hide behind the women. Hide behind female empowerment and feminism. The women will defend the system even while they're talking against it. Ooh. Ooh. The women will defend the system even as they're railing against it. Huh? In the way. Who needed a study for this? That's what was being said in the comments. You damn right. And I got your read and revise. I'll put the link in the description box after the stream. Huh? But it doesn't end there.
You got a better chance as a black woman to get a job if you interview with a white woman than you do with a black woman. But you got a better chance as a black woman to get a job if you interview with a black man than you do with a white man. Fight me.
Uh-oh. And in the comments for this are diverse, right? The comments for that are diverse, but there's a lot of black women who agree in those comments. No. The question then becomes is how overt does women's misbehavior have to be before those of you who swear by these perfectly innocent, perfectly perfect women, how egregious does their behavior have to be, their negative behavior have to be before y'all start critiquing it? How outlandish and over the top does their sexism have to be directed towards men? How outlandish and over the top does it have to be before y'all call it out? Before y'all call it for what it is? That's a real question. That is a genuine and real question. What did the young lady say? And by the way, she's not the only one. I gotta go dig through my phone, but there's a video of a young brother walking down the street and he's in scrubs. The nursing scrubs, if I remember correctly. And he said the same thing. Nobody want to work under a black woman. There's a black man saying that. Here's a black woman essentially saying the same thing. I think I got another video of another black woman saying the same thing. Who promoted her and looked out for her were black men. Huh? But we know how black women feel about that. If you don't believe me, go ask Ice Cube when he was looking at Lisa Ray like, excuse me. Huh? This is what it is.
You got a better chance as a black woman to get a job if you interview with a white woman than you do with a black woman. But you got a better chance as a black woman to get a job if you interview with a black man than you do with a white man. Fight me.
See? Yeah. I would love to see the black community, how many black women are going to disagree with her. I would love to see it. Fundamentally, what's going on is that we spend decades critiquing the negative behavior of men and actually adding extra on it. Hyper focus and hyper vigilant for any antisocial or negative behavior coming from boys and men, especially the black ones. And we've just let our daughters skate. And now you have a bunch of antisocial, highly selfish, immature women and girls who we keep on saying are mature because they're good employees, and they're not even that great of employees. Huh? The antisocial behavior from girls and women, the mean. That's why over the past 2 years, y'all heard Z keep on emphasizing mean. I think we've taken that away. We just assume that women and girls are supposed to be mean, and we just let them skate with that. No, it's antisocial behavior. The snarkiness and the sassy is antisocial. It takes away from social cohesion. Stop allowing it. Stop glorifying it. Stop minimizing it. The girls and the women are mean. They're mean to each other. They're mean to the children. They're mean to men. Unless he's an elite, tall, good-looking, rich white man. Huh? The women are mean. And particularly in the black community, the sass is off the goddamn charts. The sass breaks the Richter scale. It's over 9,000. The mean breaks the Richter scale. If black women had to be black men, they would all be walking around here with a black eye, a busted lip. If black women had to be black men, they would be getting roughed up by cops left and right, if not just straight out deleted. And they would all be walking around here with a black eye and a busted lip. We've allowed for way too much just sass and snark and these little mean, witty comments. Huh? Oh, man. And Black Guru says, I have, as a business owner and manager, hired dozens of people. The majority of them had been black females. And that's what we do. Huh? We may not want to sleep with you. We may want to, but we may not want to sleep with you. But we'll hire you because we know you're going to do that job. For the good and bad of it all. Huh? We know you're going to do that job just so you could give your ex-boyfriend the biggest middle finger in the world. That's your fuel. That's your encouragement right there. That's what fuels you. Giving black men the middle finger. Yeah. And from Africa I Came says, Z, why is it, do you think, that Western society is afraid of calling out women's antisocial behavior? Because they use them as a buffer. Because they're the ones who have the children. You don't want to upset the children in grown women's bodies that we call women. You don't want to upset them, so we got to placate them and kiss their ass. Huh? They're already not having children. Just move them out the way and bring on the bio bags. If women want true equality, which is men's foot up their ass, if women truly want them, just bring on the bio bag. Women want equality, bring the bio bags. Bring the test tube babies. Make it affordable so women can really feel what equality look like. Huh? It's only a few things if you want true equality in this society, you want to really feel true equality, there's a few things you got to do. A male pill, huh? Prostitution legal, and test tube babies at an affordable price point. And that would alleviate the stress from men and women. And then women could truly feel that equality they keep on asking for. Oh, that's going to be a fun day. Huh? Yeah. A male pill, prostitution legal, and affordable test tube babies. Oh, true indeed, Arena Revised. True indeed. And the Arena Revised says, and mandatory paternity test. Say that. It's over. Huh? And from Africa I Came says, male pill, financial abortion, artificial wombs, sex blind military consumption. I agree with the sex blind military. I said consumption, sorry, conscription. I agree with that. Believe it or not, the financial abortion thing, I do have a caveat on that. This is where the Black Manosphere is going to be like, nah, Z, not you. I do think if you had a not single mom, sorry, not that. Definitely not that. If you had a stay-at-home mother, if you made your wife, she had to be your wife, number one. If you made your wife a stay-at-home mother, if she was a stay-at-home mother, the one caveat I will say is you have to maintain for 5 years. Give her 5 years to get her life together. No, none of this lifetime alimony crap. Cut that. Not 10 years. She got 5 years. Yeah. And depending on the situation, maybe 3. That way, y'all don't divorce and she's just out on her ass. No, let's not do that. Let's be a little fair, people. Just a little fair. If she was a stay-at-home mother, not that you were the primary breadwinner. No, you were the breadwinner. She maybe got 3 to 5 years, depending on what the judge say. That's the only caveat. Other than that, I agree with you from Africa I Came. Huh? But yeah. Oh, but it gets worse.
Me being single at my age didn't come from bad decision making, stupid. It came from me never finding the man that I wanted to be with. I don't know in what delusional world y'all men live in where you think that it was all of these wonderful, great men running around when we was in our 20s and we just passed up on all of these great guys. The attractive men when we were in our 20s were doing what attractive men do, which is be players, talk to a whole bunch of different women, and never want to settle down. You do understand that, right? So given that the attractive men in their 20s didn't want to settle down, that left us with ugly dudes with kids, and dudes who didn't have themselves together. It's the same thing now that I'm older. The options didn't go from good to bad. It went from bad to worse, right? Now, instead of dudes just having kids, they got kids and grandchildren. And if you think some of them was unattractive back then, add on now the fact that some of them is out of shape, they ain't got no hairline, and they missing side teeth. They wasn't financially stable in their 20s, and a lot of them still ain't financially stable. Some of them still paying child support from the same babies that they was having when they was in their 20s. Y'all got to start being for real. These podcast lies that all of these men was going to get older and they was just going to become these rich men, that didn't happen for most of them. Sorry. A lot of the men in their 20s who was doing all that settling down and getting married were undesirable men. Men on the verge of losing their hairlines. Men who didn't have no bunch of options of women to choose from in the first place. That's the reason why it was so easy for them to settle down. And just like anything else, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. And I'm sure some women got lucky and they were able to find desirable men to settle down with in their 20s. But the exceptions don't make the rule. And I'd argue how many of those women and men are still married to this day. How many of those marriages actually lasted? Shout out to the ones that did. I know how y'all like to rewrite history and pretend as if it was all of these wonderful, great men for us to choose from in our 20s, and we just wanted to be outside and we wanted to party with our girls and we didn't want to settle down. That's not what was happening. The options weren't there back then. And you're still in the same position. The dudes who older, who are still desirable, they still don't want to settle down. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. It just gets worse. That's the part you're missing. So there's nothing that I can warn the younger girls about except letting them know that if you think it's bad now, it's gonna get worse.
Y'all gives me a second. We having technical difficulties over here. I don't know what happened. I was standing in the same spot, and then we started borging. I couldn't click anything. Nothing was working. This is like, what the hell? Anyway, let's see if we could get in a better spot. Either way, so y'all heard the lady. Let me see if I could maybe go back to where I was, because I think I know what happened. Anyway, y'all heard the young lady. Y'all heard the young lady. So in other words, she's saying, stop acting like y'all was all great in our 20s. And why are we single and yada 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 yada. Yawn. Okay. In all honesty, I don't know how much I have a problem with what she said. Just suffer in silence. Huh? Okay, fine. The men weren't that great in your 20s, right? And now the men are balding. Mr. Z's bald. Huh? Bad bodied. I don't know how bad my body is. And our grandfathers? Wait a minute, lady, how old are you? They're not fathers, they're grandfathers already? Okay, okay, I guess. Huh? Oh boy. Once again, I want to stress this. Ladies, the men don't owe you being what you need them to be, just like you don't owe the men anything. The men don't owe you anything. Number one. Number two, okay, we heard you. The men aren't as great as they like to portray themselves, and who wanted to be with these loser bum-ass dudes in their 20s, and it was only a handful of viable men, right? There was only a handful of viable men, and now that you're in your 30s, there's even less of them, etc., 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 etc. And hopefully you guys can still hear me, right? Cool. Right? Cool. The men are not as great as they like to portray themselves. All right, cool. And the women are? And the women are? I would argue our major issue is that one sex, the women, one sex thinks they're better than the other. Think that the other is beneath them. Not that the other is less capable, right? Less serious. No, it's way bigger than that. Pause. It's that they're beneath them. Yeah. Huh? And Lion says she's 38. Okay, Dana's 38. Huh? Well, let's go ahead and play that again.
Me being single at my age didn't come from bad decision making, stupid. It came from me never finding the man that I wanted to be with. I don't know in what delusional world y'all men living in where you think that it was all of these wonderful, great men running around when we was in our 20s and we just passed up on all of these great guys. The attractive men when we were in our 20s were doing what attractive men do, which is be players, talk to a whole bunch of different women, and never want to settle down. You do understand that, right? So given that the attractive men in their 20s didn't want to settle down, that left us with ugly dudes, dudes with kids, and dudes who didn't have themselves together. It's the same thing now that I'm older. The options didn't go from good to bad. It went from bad to worse, right? Now, instead of dudes just having kids, they got kids and grandchildren. And if you think some of them was unattractive back then, add on now the fact that some of them is out of shape, They ain't got no hairline, and they missing side teeth. They wasn't financially stable in their 20s, and a lot of them still ain't financially stable. Some of them still paying child support from the same babies that they was having when they was in their 20s. Y'all got to...
Okay, so we got to figure it out. Is she 38 or is she 40 something? Okay, number one. Number two. This is, and shout out to Lion, what she's describing is hypergamy doesn't care about women's feelings either. Huh? What she is describing is hypergamy doesn't care about women's feelings either. Hypergamy doesn't care about women either. How did you get that from that, Z? What did she say? When we were in our 20s, the desirable men were exercising being desirable men. The men that we didn't find attractive and appealing, the quote unquote ugly men, well, we didn't want to be with them. They're unattractive and unappealing, remember? Once again, the hypergamous market cap. The hypergamy market cap. Women are running into the wall that there's not enough of these over 6 feet tall, physically imposing, uber wealthy or rich, or at least super well off financially, so upper middle class and above, right? So good looking, tall, fit, money, rod of God, good triple X fun, interesting, charismatic. Women are the ones running into that wall and then throwing a fit about it. Huh? They mock men, they make fun of men, they belittle men, they insult men. And a lot of it is relationship angst. Dare I say it? Hetero pessimism and hetero fatalism. It really isn't hetero fatalism and hetero pessimism. It's women running into the wall of their delusional calculator keeps on miscalculating. Z, it's not miscalculating. They putting the wrong numbers in the calculator. True. Huh? KMS said, she's a loser and she lost. Plus, she's a coward afraid to compete. There's great men. There she don't want that she don't qualify for. Okay, yeah, that it was missing a T. Yeah, that she doesn't qualify for. Yeah, I mean, asking women to be honest with the fact that the men feel the same way, that they're not as great as they think they are. I can, you know what? For argument's sake, we agree with her. Okay, fine. There's only a handful of master of the universe men in your 20s. Duh. Okay, continuing. And all the other men were unappealing. We saw this on the dating apps. We know how women judge men. Pretty much 20% of men are the men that y'all will settle for. It's really about all the top. It's really about the top 1, maybe top 5%. The other rest of that 20% y'all will settle for. And then the bottom 80% are some type of invisible to you. Okay, cool. So there's only 20% of men that y'all see as somewhere in proximity of what you're looking for. Cool. This is a woman problem. This is a woman problem. Huh? The women are throwing a fit because they're the ones who are delusional. And Black Uru says, Kevin Samuels used to chastise black women for choosing men for their looks. He said it was the job of women to be good looking and the job of men to be industrious. And I remember him really going off. It was a cute sister. I want to say she was out of Texas somewhere. And yeah, she, you know, well spoken, some type of that kind of dirty red caramel-ish color. And yeah, I remember him saying that to her. And I remember her being like, "Oh, F," when he was like, "Yeah, we're not supposed to be the good-looking ones. You are." Huh? Yeah, I remember that. So let me read some of these super chats because I don't want them to get too far away from me. And I did play a few videos. Yeah, I read that from Buckeye Fan earlier. Didn't I? Oh crap! The other super chats are gone because I had to restart. Damn it! Put your comments down. I know I say this all the time. Put your comments down and just say this was my super chat and let me read it, please and thank you. Those of you that put your super chat in before I had to restart StreamYards, just put the comment and say this was the super chat and I'll read it. Yeah, I just realized that. And this is the problem with StreamYards. It didn't used to be like this, by the way, but you used to be able to restart and everything would still come up. Not anymore. Not anymore. I don't know what's going on. So let me read this from Buckeye Fan because I don't think I read this earlier. And he says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And he says, it was horrible. It was a textbook example I think you meant to say of why the left has failed men by dehumanizing men. Bree mentioned the comment section calling her out. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. I think did I play that part the other day? I don't think I played that part, but yeah, she did. She did. And she said she was remember, Buckeye Fan, she said she was disappointed in the comment section or something like that, she implied. Did she use the exact word disappointed? She might have. I don't remember, but I know that's how I registered it. Either way, she kind of spoke to that. Yeah. Yeah. And once again, we're not supposed to have sympathy for men, right? This is the thing. We have sympathy for women when it comes to their relationships or lack thereof to boys and men and to the system, right? So let's be very clear. The left has constructed this world in their minds and in their collective consciousness. The narrative is that the men are struggling to keep up, right? As the young lady at the table said, the men are struggling to keep up. Women no longer need them financially. That's a big ass lie, but okay, fine. We'll go with it. Women no longer need them financially. And so now men and boys are struggling to be all of these intangible things. Now, let's be clear. Women still want the tangible things, but now that she doesn't need you for that, now you have to come with these kind of intangible things. You have to be likable. You have to be personable, right? You have to have personality and character. Cool. You have to be willing to engage in lifting the relationship, right? Have emotional intelligence. Clean up after yourself, right? Engage in domestic labor. The days of stay-at-home wife for the masses of men is not a thing. Stay-at-home girlfriend is not a thing. Okay, cool. And so that's how the women frame it, right? That's how the women frame it. And on the left, this is just like catnip. It's ear candy. They love it. Because on the left, this is how you're supposed to frame your argument against these newfangled men. You're not supposed to actually say your real issue as well.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Are you single?
Yes.
Why are you single right now?
Because the men are not enough rich to take care of me.
So you're looking for a rich man?
Yes. Yes, I want to be spoiled.
Why does he have to be rich?
Because I want to be spoiled. Because I make my own money and I need to be dominated.
See, you're not supposed to say that. But for most women, including women on the left, including card-carrying women on the left, that is the issue. Now, pause. I'm going to go look for the clip in a minute because Breonna Joy Gray actually said the provision part in her long-winded, lawyer-ass way, using legalese language. But she actually did say, you know what, essentially my life is kind of precarious, you know, and you know, it would feel good to at least have that financial backing in this, the long-winded way of saying this. The issue that the left has is that they're not calling the women out for their brazen hypocrisy. that the women want patriarchy by feminist specifications. And as long as the women give the thinnest veil of feminist ideology language, the left will, yeah, the problem is that the men don't want to practice domestic labor, and they don't want to be likable, and they just want to bring women back into the kitchen in 1950s and barefoot and pregnant, and as long as the women keep on speaking that way, it just makes it so much easier for the left to engage in their part of the gender war and using the women as the buffer. Huh? Yeah. I'm looking to see you guys' comments and to see if anybody says I missed their super chat earlier, because I know I want to say I missed KMS super chat. I don't remember what it was. Yeah. Yeah, KMS says, Mr. Z, that is my super chat. Okay, where was it? Let's see. He says, damn it, Z. What was damn it, Z was the super chat? Let me see. I'm looking to see. Let me see. Let me read this now from the Arena Revised, just in case we. So now, KMS, you got your wish. So now I got to speed up on the super chats just in case we get this again. And the Arena Revised says, the homies in my circle who got hitched in their 20s are almost all better looking than me, and I'm 6'3", by the way. Dana is inadvertently. No, that's not what you say. Inverting reality. Mr. Z said inadvertently. Inverting realities. Somebody said something about dyslexia the other day. I'm just saying. Dana is inverting reality. I think Dana is describing the angst of single women, assuming she's single. I think Dana is actually putting words to, and I think it's accurate words to, the feelings of single women who are essentially saying, yeah, I'm single at 38, 40, 42, 45 years old, because what's out here, it's mud, right? And I think that's something that our society has been trying to alleviate for women for decades, right? There's this angst, there's this dread, right? This, like, hetero fatalism. There's this fatalistic view of relationship, because the women are saying, I did all this work. I went to college. I sleepless nights and 15 and 20 page papers, and I got out of college, and then I put out how many applications, and I went on how many interviews, and I finally got the job, and then I had to struggle to get this apartment or this condo, and you're trying to tell me I did all of that to be with one of these guys under 6 feet, not that great looking, dad bod, huh? F-150 driving men? This is what I did all of this for? And that's the dread. That's the fatalistic view, right? That's the pessimism. And I would like to say to the women, welcome to adulthood. God damn, Z. Welcome to the equality. Damn, Z. Right? This is what you fought for. This was in the fine print. You know what you're supposed to do now with your antisocial ass? Marry the men who are beneath you. Fine, for argument's sake, I'll accept that they're beneath you. And, damn, Z, I know. Maybe you don't get to practice hypergamy. Maybe you marry him and then he divorces you in 10 years and takes half your ish. What did you think you were fighting for? What did you think your ancestors were fighting for? What did you think your female, air quotes, elders were fighting for? You don't get to be special and equal simultaneously. You don't get equality and hypergamy at the same time in the same place. That is not how this works. Huh? And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, the Arena Revised. I know you didn't expect Z to go all the way around there with this. Huh? Vince's half Eddie voice. I want half Eddie. Huh? Yeah. What did the ladies think? Maybe you don't. To Dana, I would say maybe you're supposed to end up with the dude missing the side teeth. What do y'all think? It's all peaches and cream over here for the men? The single men around your age, Dana, you think it's easy? Do you know what they're left with? It's baby mamarism galore for them. 38, 40, 42 years old. It's a bunch of broken ass women, insane debt, baby mamas, mean, rude, snarky, broken as hell, high ass body count, jaded at the world, huh? Asking for the stars and the moon, and yet she's once again in crazy ass debt, huh? Her mind belongs to Milton Freeman and the Chicago Boys. Hyper materialistic, insane consumerism. She worships at the altar of conspicuous consumption. You think it's easy for the men? And she's overweight like a mug, especially if she's black. Dana, it's not cakewalk over here. And guess what, Dana? We're still more likely to overlook your flaws and try to make an honest woman out of y'all than y'all are for us. That's the kicker. Even with everything Mr. Z listed, the question is, who's the real humans? Ooh, goddamn, Z. Who's really the ones that are kinder and nicer and more understanding and more empathetic? Uh-oh, talking about flipping the whole script. Huh? Even with the overweight, y'all are the ones who burnt the baby mama rescue plan. Y'all are the ones, women did that. Huh? Who are actually the empathetic, sympathetic, understanding ones, especially in relationship? That's a real question. Talking about that, Lion says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Lion says, what if ugly dudes is all you qualify for? Say that, Lion. Say that. What if ugly dudes is all you qualify for? And I gotta go find that clip so I can play it for y'all, because this is essentially what Tone Talks was saying to, damn, what is her name? When she was on it's not Wednesday. When she was on Zoe Williams' show, Heavyset Sister. I forgot her name. It's man, it's right there. Her face is right there, but I forgot her name. That's Tone Talks was, he didn't say it, but he kind of said it. And when she realized what he was saying, oh, she threw a fit. Heavyset, not particularly good looking. And Tone Talks tried to say that. The women not trying to hear that line. Now, men accept this all day, every day. We heard it from Bruce on Wayne a couple months ago. KMS was there. KMS, you remember what Bruce on Wayne was saying? Hey, I'm at this age. I'll accept a little gut. I might accept a kid. I might accept a bit of sass. The men are honest. I'll take this, I'll take that, and I'll still treat you like you're the greatest woman in the world. The women said, I ain't doing none of it. Now, that doesn't mean, for all the men, all you young men, that doesn't mean She won't have fun with you. That doesn't mean you can't have triple X fun with her. Huh? What she is saying is anything less than 100% of my delusional list, I'm settling, and I will treat you like I'm settling, especially if it's a relationship. Now, if we friends with benefit, if we're a situationship, then yeah, you won't get the contempt. But if it's anything like relationship, I'll treat you like I settled for you. The men don't operate the same way. Huh? So to line, what if ugly dudes is all she qualified for? We already see the women said I'm antisocial at that point. I'm not having the kid. For the women who didn't have kids, they're saying I'm not gonna have the kids. I'm not gonna get married. I'm gonna just be the bitter ass, quote unquote, rich auntie. They're not even rich, they're barely stable. Huh? Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. Once again, they're not even rich, they're barely stable. And Lion, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Uh-oh. Just saying. Say that, Lion. Lion say Yaminica. Ding, 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 ding. It wasn't Yaminica. But by the way, homegirl, she looked like she could be related to Yaminica. And Yaminica is a prime example of what Mr. Z is describing. Huh? Exactly. KMS says, I, auntie. Yeah. Auntie who's doing I. And we call her rich auntie. She's not rich. She's barely stable. Huh? And Lion says, cool, she ain't celibate though. A few are. A few of them are. Even the cute ones, a few of them are. It's all adult temper tantrum. We just gotta call it what it is. Female adult temper tantrum. I'm not gonna get what I want, so I'm just gonna be out here with all the men. Temper tantrum. I'm not gonna get what I want, so I'm just gonna be celibate. Temper tantrum. Huh? I'm not gonna get what I want, so I'm gonna go on social media and type crazy comments. Temper tantrum. Huh? I'm not gonna get what I want, so I'm gonna encourage the young women to stay single. Temper tantrum. It's all temper tantrum. Petulant children in grown women's bodies. Huh? That's all. I'm not even reading your comment right now, Tunnel Runner. I'm not gonna do it. You ain't gonna be bragging on me right now. No, I'm playing. Give me a second, Tunnel Runner. I'm gonna get around to it. And Big Mo says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Big Mo says, my wife was complaining that black women on Facebook were saying, quote, this is why we are losing our men to other women. I had to remind her of the new marriage rates. Say that. Big Mo, somebody got to be honest with the ladies. Somebody has to be honest with the ladies. Look, man, no one is, this is the one thing I'll give the women. The one thing I'll give them, one, is if they're not in black manosphere spaces, they don't know what the hell is going on because everybody else is lying to them. And I mean everybody. Their girlfriends are lying to them. The technocrats are lying to them. The commercials and television shows are lying to them. Everybody, their pastors, their clergy, whoever they believe in, or not believe in, sorry, whoever they listen to, faith-based, is lying to them. Everyone is lying to the women. Everyone. Unless they have a dad like BGS or Black Uru. Because everyone else is lying to them. Their mama is lying to them. Their dad is lying to them. Their female siblings and girl cousins and family members, relatives are lying to them. Their girlfriends are lying to them. The school is lying to them. Academia is lying to them. Television, music, print media, lying to them. Everyone is lying to the women. If they're not in these spaces in specific, everyone else is lying to them. That's the one thing I'll give the women. Everyone else is lying to them. Huh? So shout out to you, Big Mo. And that includes black women. Look, prime example. How long have we been saying, and the numbers back us up, that black men out-earn black women, and yet the narrative still persists. The narrative still continues. Black women earn more than black men. Black women are the primary breadwinners. Black women are outpacing black men. No, they're not. Black men start more businesses. Black men have more wealth. Black men employ more people. There are more black male millionaires, billionaires in this country. There are more black men that earn over 6 figures in this country. There are more black men that earn over $50,000 a year in this country compared to black women. Black men earn more, black men have more wealth. So not just income, black men earn more, they have more wealth. There are more of them that earn 6 figures. There are more of them that are millionaires. There are more of them that are billionaires. There are more of them that are entrepreneurs. Black women have the fastest growing entrepreneurial rate. Yes, this is fastest growing. It didn't say you had the most. So shout out to you, Big Mo. But if black women who don't have husbands like Big Mo, because we know black men, there's a lot of these weirdo cuck loser ass husbands. No one is being honest with black women. No one is being honest with women, let alone black women. Everyone is lying. Everyone. Huh? And thank you for the super chat, Big Mo. Thank you for the super chat. And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Lie to me, I promise you, I'll believe you. Women say that. Huh? And I agree with you, KMS. The women want to be lied to also. They want to be lied to. They want to believe the lie. Huh? Y'all give Z a second. Who's honking? Why the hell are you honking? Sorry, y'all. That's annoying as hell. Anyway. And no, I don't know that person. I don't know what that person's honking. Continuing. And Buckeye fan says, and thank you for the super chat. The film Adolescence mocked 80-20 rule. I still haven't watched it. yet. All right. But I'll check it out, and I'll try to pay attention for that section. Right. But yeah, look, when presented with the math, the women are going to mock it and make fun of it. When presented with women's macro standards and ideas and what they prefer, they're going to mock the men. They're not going to admit that this at scale is a problem. It's not about an individual woman's ideas and what she wants and what she desires. Cool. But at scale, this is a problem. It's not the individual woman. It's not the 1%. It's when you scale that to 20% of your society, 25% of your society, 30% of your society, a third of your society, 50% of your society. This is when you have a problem. 60, 70, 75% of your society. When the women all aggregate on this one particular attribute, the look, the status, the height, the whatever it is, and it's this thing or nothing, or it's this thing or I'll be settling, and maybe I will settle, but I will be speaking and acting like I settled. That's when it becomes a problem. Mr. Z doesn't begrudge individual women their agency to choose what they want and what they desire and what they like. Once again, though, at scale, this becomes a problem. Huh? And Ken Seeing Red says, and thank you for the super chat. Let's read this now. Z, you put just a security guard. You need to stay in your place and stop being contradicting. What do you mean? Z, you are just a security guard. You need to stay in your place and stop being contradicting. You gotta explain that to me, Ken Seeing, because I am a little lost on the statement. I'm a little lost on the statement. Oh, are you talking about? Oh, you know what? Kinsey Red, I got you. Right. And the torture begins.
As a man, if you don't have house core job, don't look for a woman with house core job. And for the men that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three, and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard, and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting. And bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
Shout out to Kinsey and Red. Kinsey, it took me a few seconds. Like, what is Kinsey and Red talking about right now? And then I realized it, and then y'all started putting in the comments. You know, Mr. Z got like a zillion videos in my phone. I actually had to start transferring some of this stuff to USB because we already done filled up. Mind you, I had to wait for this particular S25 Ultra because I don't have the 256 gig. I have the 512 gig. Right, and it took just about a year, and we already filled up the phone with all of this crazy stuff. So now I have to start transferring this stuff to USB. Right, so that lets you know how much of this stuff that I have. Either way, yeah, I can't see it. It took me a few seconds, and then y'all started saying it in the comments, but I was already going to click it anyway. Either way, yeah, exactly. Right, exactly, and that is the sentiment, right? That is the sentiment. And shout out to Big Mo, stressing to your wife the marriage numbers in the Black community, then the interracial marriage rate for Black men in specific, right? That's important. Because once again, this entire society is lying to women, particularly the Black women. And they really think they're infallible in relationship to men. Right? Continue.
She said, I no longer date for free due to the behavior of men. American tennis player Sashaya Vickery, she revealed that she now requires a $1,000 pre-date deposit, citing past negative experience.
Let me ask you, does she sound insane?
At this point, we just need to wear badges that say, hi, I operate as a... I expect this to be more transactional than me really caring to get to know you. To me, that's the problem with everything that I'm seeing online.
Dog, dating is trial and error. You are gonna kiss a million frogs before you find your prince or your princess.
Or you shouldn't be kissing all these niggas.
1,000 frogs, $1,000.
I'm not giving them 50 cents. Yo, listen, at
what date is there any expectation from a woman? Something she has to provide. So there are no expectations.
I would say at least the way we show up physically. That's very important, and it comes at a cost. So
what's the cost?
Hair done, nails done.
When you come to the table thinking that I'm so pretty or I'm so fire, that's all I have to be is pretty.
I think
I'm handsome too, bitch.
Oh my God! Like, not I'm handsome too, bitch.
What you talking about?
Now, women in the comments were calling him sassy for saying that. I think we miss a lot when we kind of do. It's not macro enough. This is the sound of financial angst. This is the sound of overvaluing oneself, not being honest about the socioeconomic realities, the realities of economics in our society. This is what happens when you are trying to get as much of someone as humanly possible with giving minimal effort on your end. We're letting women get away with not being financial adults, right? And I'm somewhat using economics and finance interchangeably. We are allowing for women not to be adults financially and then shirk off their own financial responsibilities to men in the form of dating, right? The trip she cannot afford herself, or she can afford herself, she just don't want to spend the money. She shirks off that responsibility to you and says, a real man. Huh? That restaurant she cannot afford herself, or she doesn't want to spend the money herself. She has it, but she doesn't want to spend it. She shirks off that responsibility to you and uses terms like, once again, a real man. Huh? The true economic realities, look, it was extremely liberating when you realize women don't got it either. Black women especially don't got it. What they're attempting to do is gaslight the men with these ideas of women who are doing extremely well financially. I live at this level. I live at this status. So if you enter my life, I need you to provide this or more, really more. The masses of women don't actually got it though, particularly black women. So these $1,000 dates, and apparently homegirl is what, an athlete of some sort? I'm sorry, I missed it. I don't know. Okay, somewhat understandable, but still $1,000 as a advance to date her, right? Then this also shows, and we allow for this in this society, we actually encourage it, women's contempt for men. Y'all are so trash, y'all are so bum, that for me to weed out the bum men, I'm gonna treat my situation like I'm a club. Excuse me, y'all. And I'm going to charge a entry fee of $1,000. This is VIP club status at this point. Huh? How is this not seen as antisocial? Huh? And for the women who response is, well, I show up. That's literally what the young lady said. Well, you know, I guess what are you saying? The reciprocity is by showing up dressed well? Huh? That's where the reciprocity lies? And he did. And Tunnel Runner says, he said, I have something to offer too, right? And thank you for the super chat, Tunnel Runner. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to read your other one in a minute. He did. And it's true. And now what? Huh? And it's true. I do have something to offer also.
She said, I no longer date for free due to the behavior of men. American tennis player Sashaya Vickery, she revealed that she now requires a $1,000 pre-date deposit, citing past negative experience.
Let me ask you, does she sound insane?
At this point, we just need to wear badges that say, hi, I operate as a... I expect this to be more transactional than me really caring to get to know you. To me, that's the problem with everything that I'm seeing online.
Dog, dating is trial and error. You are gonna kiss 1,000,000 frogs before you find your prince or your princess.
Or you shouldn't be kissing all these niggas.
1,000 frogs, $1,000.
I'm not giving them 50 cents. Yo, listen to what I'm saying.
At what date is there any expectation from a woman? Something she has to provide. There are no expectations.
I would say at least the way we show up physically. That's very important, and it comes at a cost. So
what's the cost?
Hair done, nails done.
When you come to the table thinking that I'm so pretty or I'm so fire, that's all I have to be is pretty.
I think
I'm handsome too, bitch.
Oh my God!
Like,
not I'm handsome too, bitch.
What you talking about?
Hair is done, nails done, everything did. Shout out to Drake. So you fancy, huh? Anyway, okay. And I caught it the first time. I wanted to use that joke, dad joke, Z. I know. I wanted to use that joke earlier, but it missed me. Anyway, as Tunnel Runner says, he said, I have something to offer too. And he's right. What men offer is often minimized. That's what you're supposed to do, right? So men are, that's what you're supposed to do. Women, on the other hand, if she give you a stick of gum, you are supposed to thank her forever for her generosity. And now you owe her forever for her generosity. This is the framing. This is the framing. This is one of the reasons I would argue that many young men are just complete throwing their hands up. $1,000. And she's a tennis star. Okay. Let's see who will bite. Let's see who will go. Yeah. Once again, the framing is the men are so horrible. The women, on the other hand, great. Huh? And Tunnel Runner, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. I'm just going through. And Darina Rivas says, you need to put the vids in your shorts again. Yeah. I have to, because I don't want to start, like, even with what I have up now in my shorts, I don't want to start getting attacked by YouTube, right? Because I'm iffy about what I'm going to use at and what I want to edit, and that's another reason why I'm kind of iffy on my videos, because I want to start doing kind of pre-records again, and that yeah, the YouTube will strike your ass. So you're right about putting some of these as shorts. And as a matter of fact, I'm getting with Louis, Red Pill Sleeper Cell, for those of you that don't know, and we're working on it, right? We're working on it. So with the shorts, at least, not with the pre-records. With the pre-records, look forward to me dropping some pre-records this year, because I think I'm gonna get back into that. You know, anywhere between 12 to maybe 10 to 20 minute pre-records. Yeah, and now that I kind of know how to use StreamYards, the pre-records will have videos and or little shorts, talking about shorts, and what I'm referencing as, you know, let's say the title of an article or something like that. So that is the goal for this year. I do want to put out at least, I'm gonna say maybe 5 pre-records by the end of the year. That's the goal. That's the goal. Maybe more, but I haven't done a pre-record in years, right? So that's the goal for this year. Let's try to do some 5 pre-records this year. Right. And BGS called me out about it a couple years ago, actually, that I'm gonna have to do some pre-records, right? Yeah. So BGS, I heard you when you said it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to drop some pre-records. So yeah, look forward to that. I know that's not what you asked, Darina Rivas. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have to do what you said with the shorts, but definitely some pre-records this year. That's the goal. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And let's go up to Saint Cyr's super chat, which I didn't read yet. I'll have to read that. I'll give you a second. And Saint Cyr says, and thank you for the super chat, as a 31-year-old man whose income has only increased as time has gone on, who is getting back in shape. I was once in shape. I didn't start out off shape. Okay, off shape like black women. Funny. And has a full hairline. No data Dane. Just loud and wrong. But black women get to be loud and wrong, particularly black women, concerning men. They get to be loud and wrong, and the masses of America and this society will entertain it. Right? Like, I've noticed over the past couple years, but especially over the past year or so, I've been stressing like women being used as like the buffer class. That's what it is. We entertain women's angst and anger and dread concerning dating and mating. And we minimize men's dread Because this is class warfare. And using the women as the buffer is part of class warfare. Huh? It's the Tutsis and the Houthis. You back one, before you leave, you back the other. Or when you see things going down, you're like, eh. It's not a coincidence that the elites are more likely to be married, to get married, to be married, and to stay married. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that the poor are less likely to be married, more likely to be divorced or single, more likely to have children out of wedlock. That's not a coincidence. And everything you're hearing from the women, particularly the feminist women, is all cope talk for that. All that autonomy talk, free liberated talk, we ask men to step it up, we ask men to evolve, and now they're all single, and now we're talking about single man epidemic and lonely man epidemic. It's all coping talk. When they laugh about that lonely man epidemic, loneliness epidemic from men, it's all coping. It's coping. It's working class women, middle class women, lower middle class women coping. And middle class and rich and elite women will engage in that type of talk with them. They'll get their 5 chuckles in at everyday men's expense, but upper middle class and above women, particularly the white ones, they're more likely to be married. They're probably going to get married. Will they get divorced? Maybe. So a group of women walk into a bar. Goddamn, Z. Working poor, working class, lower middle class, upper middle class, rich. They're all talking crap about men, but upper middle class and above are more likely to be married or get married. The other women are talking that crap. They're less likely to be married, get married, have children in wedlock. But they're all talking crap. Does no one see where the class warfare begins and where it ends? Huh? Dana Dane is just expressing the rage, the anxiety, the dread, the angst of women in her similar socioeconomic position. And I appreciate it. I get it. With no consideration of what the men are talking about. And I've seen a few videos on Dana's channel. She's expressed the view of many men a few times on her channel. I've seen it a couple of times. She's done it a couple of times. Right? But what Dana doesn't appreciate as a woman is the men also have angst and dread and are pessimistic around her age also. The accomplished men who find themselves being single in their late 30s and early 40s, you think they don't have existential dread also? Especially if he's done having fun or he wants to settle down. You don't think there's dread there? 40 years old with no kids, you don't think there's dread there? What is left for you? Overweight baby mamas or asshole women? Asshole put her career first women. Mean, snarky, rude women. Women who feel like they settled for you also. Women. Huh? And thank you for the super chat, Saint Cyr. Thank you for the super chat. And no placeholder says, makeup is to deceive me, but I must pay for it. Yes, no placeholder. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Nobody said it had to make sense. No one said it had to make sense. We know it don't make sense. We know. No one said it had to. Right? Well, for men, it has to make sense. For women, not so much. And shout out to No Placeholder. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. KMS says, most women live lives of sullen desperation. Subtle desperation? I think you meant to say subtle. Subtle desperation and abuse social media as their de facto, quote unquote, wailing wall, where they pray to men to act right as they provide nothing men want. Debbie Doldrums, no motion. Hysterical. Yeah, no, that's where you get some of that manifest talk, right, KMS? And like all of this like spiritual talk and weird stuff. Yeah, no, women don't think they have to offer what the men are saying. Not what you assume, not what a girlfriend told you, right? But yeah, it's not so subtle desperation though. I don't know if it's so subtle. Maybe for your average woman. Okay, let's actually entertain that. On the internet and on social media, they're so loud and brazen with it. I agree with that. And maybe off the internet, it's not so brazen. Okay, I'll concede that. I'll concede that it's more subtle in everyday women you interact with in real life. IRL, yeah, no, I'll concede that. I'll agree with that part, right? Most women live lives of subtle desperation, right? I really want to say live lives, live lives, right? But yeah, of subtle desperation and abuse social media as their de facto wailing wall. Yeah, no, social media, oh my God, they use social media to cope. They use social media for women and men to tell them it's not you, it's the men, it's the society, it's the economics, and some of that is true. But it's not you, it's not the women. No, the women are contributing to the BS also. Huh? Dear ladies, if the pool got pee in it, you're peeing in the pool also. Even if I concede to you that some men are peeing in the pool, if I concede to you that the elites are peeing in the pool, right? I can concede all of that. The women are peeing in the pool also. And we're not just talking about the most outlandish women that you see on social media. No, your everyday women. Let me say this again. And shout out to, and y'all give me a second because I got to sneeze. Wait a minute. I held it. I got it. I held it. But it's gonna happen anyway. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Coach Greg Adams said a little while ago, it's one of the realest things. Everyday women are the ones breaking y'all hearts. It's not the gold diggers, the elite gold diggers, right? It's not the 10 toes, right? It's everyday women. And when he said that, yes, right? Yes, 100% accurate. What am I saying with that? Tying that to what I was saying earlier. In real life, it's everyday women. Women are peeing in the pool also. It's not just the crazy characters you see on social media, the loud, brash, obnoxious women you see on social media. Everyday women are doing the most outlandish stuff. Everyday women are the ones cheating on their husbands also. Everyday women are the ones engaging in foodie calls. Huh? Everyday women are cheating on their boyfriends. Everyday women are getting caught up in DV. They struck their boyfriend, their husband. Huh? Everyday women are the ones you're running into in the grocery store that's being assholes, rude, and mean. At the drive-up window at the fast food restaurant being rude and mean. Everyday women. Huh? Everyday women are the ones flipping you off with the middle finger at the light when she was the one who did something crazy in traffic. Everyday women. Huh? And these are the everyday women who may or may not put a comment down on the outlandish women's video. Right? So I agree with KMS on that, the subtle desperation and abusing social media. Yeah, that's their cope. That's their cope. Huh? And thank you for the super chat, KMS. Thank you for the super chat. And Kanguru says, Z, I'm on Facebook dating, just observing the delusion. A recent widow liked me. Every pic had her kid in it. I told her respectfully that posting kids like that signal desperation and attracts Epstein's. Hysterical. True. Yeah. She may think that she's just letting people know she has a child, or and just enjoying time with her child and taking pictures with that. No, what you're saying is true, and it's something to be considered. Right? And there's actually a commercial I saw a few days ago. I want to say it was either UK or Australian commercial. And it was it the father and the mother with the daughter? But they were walking and random strangers were trying to talk to the daughter. Random strangers like, hey, nice game you had, and how's this going, and how's that going? And at the end of the commercial, it said, and going to what you're saying here, Kangaroo, it said, this is what happens when you post your children on social media, right? Like, you're posting your children on social media, you're posting the events on social media, you're posting all of this, and you're letting the entire world know your child's name, what they're doing, right? How they're doing, and it might be a bit much, right? So yeah, Kangaroo, yeah, no, what you're saying, it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense. And you know, whether did she heed the warning? Did she take the pictures down? Probably not. Yeah. And thank you for the super chat, Kangaroo. Thank you for the super chat. Right? Vince says stranger danger. Right? Sullen. No, it is Sullen. Okay, it is Sullen. It's not subtle. Okay, it is Sullen. Okay, okay. And Right Sound Studio says great word. Right. Yeah. Charles says, pee, they're not peeing in the pool, Z, they pooping in the pool. And KMS gives us the desperation. He says sullen desperation. Resentful desperation equals resentful desperation. Okay, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I did not know sullen. New word unlocked. New word unlocked. All right. And let me see. Yeah. And Grab Second Gear says she flip-flops, talking about Dana. Yeah, she's a human being. Right? And Otis says 1K you could get, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Otis says 1K you could get priced coffee girl who will look better and do what you want. Girls who look like Ruby Rose or Tiana Trump go for 1,500, 2K. Wow. Yeah, I mean, she's signaling. I would love to know in a year or two how this worked out for her, if she's married or if she's in a long-term relationship, or if she just has the sugar daddy situation or even boyfriend who signed up for this, right? So we gave our commentary now. Let's see how she looks and how this looks in a year and a half, 2 years, right? It sounds good. It sounds real good, right? And thank you for the super chat, Big O. Thank you for the super chat. Sounds good, right? Do I believe this will happen for her even as a tennis star? I mean, darker skin, black woman, tennis. Maybe she could come across a well-off white dude who has a chocolate tooth and will engage. You know what? It's possible. Because of those spaces that she's in, it's possible. It's possible. Here's the funny thing, though. I would argue much of why she's doing this is because she's already running into those white dudes. Goddamn, Z. The same white dudes, I would argue. I don't know anything about this lady. But just knowing dark skin, black woman, tennis, yeah, she's running into those white dudes. It's those white dudes. I would put money. It's those white dudes putting her through that. The white dudes are the reason why she sound like this. And it'll be a white dude, if anyone, more than likely, who will sign up for this. If anyone. Emphasis on the if. Huh? emphasis on the if. So, oh, it's we'll see. It's possible. We'll see. Right? And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And let me see. We'll see, because I guess now we'll read Tunnel Runner's other super chat, bragging ass. Y'all give me a second. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did that go? And Tunnel Runner says, and thank you for the super chat, coconut pancakes, coffee with coconut cream. Look at them. With the Colombian flag, I guess that's the Colombian flag. And thank you for the super chat, Tunnel Runner, old bragging ass. Thank you for the super chat. Now, for an episode of Bragging Ass Tunnel Runner, live from paradise. Yeah. Cameron says, me dunking at 45 years old is possible. Okay, I hear you. Cameron said, it ain't gonna happen, Z. It ain't gonna happen for Z. You have faith. Right? Oh, man. Right Sound Studio says, I'm saying I won't spend $1,000 on you, but can it be some books, a college course, or something to better yourself, not just one-off date? Look, the ladies are trying to get it however, and with social media, this is the thing that women are missing on social media. Social media is causing them to arms race each other, right? It's something we experienced in the car community also. In the car community, what social media did and the internet did, especially like, okay, look at stance guys. For those of you that don't know, stance guys are the guys with the crazy cambered wheels, and their cars are like damn they're on the floor, if not on the floor. Internet and social media caused the arms race. Right? This was over a decade ago at this point, but it caused the arms race. So your car wasn't low enough. The camber wasn't crazy enough, right? Then what the car community experienced was the arms race of crazier and crazier builds. How much money did you dump into your car? How much horsepower does your car make? How much torque? How much RPM does it rev up to? Internet and social media, it democratized the town square, but what that also did was let everybody know about everybody's build. So your build wasn't crazy enough. Once again, just like how we say, the men in the town that's earning whatever money, and it would have been great 15, 20, 30 years ago, it's not great anymore because you might be the air quotes richest in the town, but when she flips open her phone, she gets to see women from different, women from different environments living the best life because their husband, boyfriend, baby daddy, whoever is balling out of control. Right? So Writing Sound Studios, this arms race, I said Right Sound Studios, the arms race, this social media internet arms race is adding on to the delusion. Right? It's causing the women to be even more delusional and like subtly, not so subtly compete with each other with lifestyle talk. Right? So yeah, that's something to consider. This is what I'm saying. And Vince says luxury arms race, luxury lifestyle arms race. Right. And as much as your lady, your individual woman, as much as she claims and thinks she's above it and thinks it doesn't affect her, but it does. Right? Some of us are lucky enough where she can control herself enough. Right? But others, not so much. Right? Others, not so much. They sound absolutely delusional because, well, they're absolutely delusional. Huh? And Leon says, and let's read this one now. And thank you for the super chat. my black pill indifference, the fall will be televised. Participating only slows the fall. Giving times to yourself only increases the fall. Usher, let it burn. So what you're saying, if I'm to read that correctly, Leon, is this is gonna burn anyway, Z. So just move out the way. Right? And the fall will be televised. So it's not the revolution will not be televised. You're saying no, this will be televised. The burn, the crash will be televised. I hear you, Leon. I hear you. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. On that note, y'all, Z got things to do. Damn, Z. So we'll try to do a panel discussion tomorrow. Y'all go ahead and send me things so we have a day. Y'all send me whatever y'all want me to review, because I'm really considering whether I want to do the Chrissy review tomorrow or not. And what was it? What else was it that I was thinking about reviewing? I mentioned it earlier. So y'all go ahead and, once again, my email is in the description box. For those of you that don't know, email is always in the description box. Cash App link is always in the description box. I'm gonna try to get better at putting the link for YouTube references in the description box. Instagram and TikTok links, not so much. TikTok stuff that y'all send me, that's how I get it. Obviously, so and what I do when y'all send me the TikTok link is I copy it and then I go and download it. So that's why. That, for those of you that, Z, I thought you said you don't have a TikTok. That's how I'm getting the videos. Y'all email me it. I'll copy the link because it won't let me watch it, right? I'll copy the link and then bring it to where I need to bring it to download. So there you go. But yeah, if anything y'all want me to cover tomorrow or speak on, once again, send me the link. Email is in the description box once again. Cash App's in the description box once again. And as I was saying before, I will try to get better at putting the link for Instagram videos. I'm gonna try to get better on that. Can't guarantee anything on that, but definitely for the YouTube links, I'll start putting that back in the description box, especially when I give y'all enough time to watch it. Shout out to Tro, who got on me once about Ze'll put something that's like 2-3 hours long, and then he'll start streaming in 20 minutes, right? So, which he was right about. He was definitely right about. So yeah. Let's do that. And goddamn, L's Active got on me. Discord. And thank you for the super chat. Like I said, I put the Discord link in a while ago, and I thought I did it the right way, and I didn't. So I definitely got to work on that. Figure out how I'm gonna get my Discord going. Maybe I'll get with Ed or somebody who has a Discord so they can like walk me through how this is supposed to go. And yeah, so thank you for that, Els. Thank you for that. And yes, we're working on it. Not so much, but we're working on it. We're working on it. There you go, Z. Now you're not lying. We're working on it. Now I could say that because I'm not lying. Okay, and Kaguru says, and thank you for the super chat, some of the women I've been out here with since divorce make almost 200K, goddamn, but are broke as hell, unfathomable, living beyond their means. $200,000. Kanguru says $200,000 and broke. Right? 200. Man. Oh yeah, I'm trying not to forget. And the Arena Revise says that means sister link. I got you, the Arena Revise. I got you, right? Vince with the quotables. Vince said, "Y'all gonna give me my trophy." And Vince says, "Top heavy lifestyle." Say that. Top heavy lifestyle. That's a good one. That's a good one. Top heavy lifestyle, right? Kind of like how some of them are built. Oh damn, Z. Anyway, top heavy lifestyle. Say that. Dr. Dunbar says that's some serious spending. You hear me? How you broke with $200,000 a year? Huh? Would that put you in background, y'all? Give me a second. And we're back. And we're back. But yeah, exactly what Dr. Dunbar said. That's some serious spending. $200,000 a year. Would that put you into the top 5-ish%, 6-7%, something like that? Maybe somewhere around there, right? Another one? Y'all gives you a second. Jesus. And we're back again. So yeah. All right. So that's insane. Insanity. Elle said trans wealthy hysterical. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Man. That's crazy. I don't know about that, Troll. You gotta check them prices. Because down here in Miami, houses in the hood still going for more than that. In the gutter. Houses, forget the hood. Houses in the absolute gutter are still going for more than 200K. Right? Man. Kanguru said, but I'm a dusty HVAC. Well, women know about HVAC techs now. They know about HVAC techs. So you still get a pass, right? They still have crazy requirements, but yeah, you're blue collar, but they know about HVAC techs now. So yeah. There's that. Look, y'all trying to keep me here. I got things to do. So we'll pause right here, everyone. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content for the love of God, right? And Mr. Z out. All right, I have other things I want to review that I didn't play today that we'll get to tomorrow maybe, and then whatever y'all send me, once again, email is in the description box. We will be reviewing tomorrow also, and there's that. And thank you for that, sir. You are a scholar and a gentleman. And Right Sound says, well done. And thank you. All right, y'all, Mr. Z out.
You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.